Hello, my Teaserking family. How is everybody today? Fucking what a hot fucking day I had yesterday. Holy shit. We give you Northern Illinois, and they win straight up. Now I didn't think they would win straight up, but I knew they weren't going to get blown out. And just a tremendous performance. Notre Dame, the coach, got to go. Bad coach. This is what I do best: is read these coaches, read the quarterbacks. So we can start with college, and then we won't get too in depth. We'll do the pros, and then we'll go through the college. Well, let's go through my college picks. Then we'll go through pros, and then we'll analyze the pros. All right. So I basically ran the table. I missed 2 games. So Friday night we lose the BYU SMU over the quarterback. I don't know if he got hurt or pulled. It was 18-15 BYU. You just miss it. Then we go Texas, Michigan. That was the first lock. Texas, Michigan under. I was under 44. I was under 50. I knew that would never get there. I thought I had a vision it would go 37, and it was 37. It was 31-6, and Michigan scored at the end. But I had the game under. That was a lock, and it was played into teasers. Analysis. Michigan's got a good defense, no offense. The quarterback sucks. Texas, good offense, good defense. I think it's close to the score I thought. I wasn't sure Texas would score 31. The way Michigan handled Fresno State, but Michigan's in trouble this year. They got to play USC in 2 weeks. That's another loss. Oregon, it's another loss. Washington. I mean, they might lose 6 games this year. Michigan State all of a sudden looked pretty good. So I think their coach is in way over his head. The quarterback stinks. And this is what happens to teams. Well, when they start going downhill like Notre Dame did, even when Michigan did, they get a bad coach, and then they don't have a quarterback, right? So why do these teams win? Well, Georgia, they got a great coach. They got a great quarterback. They got a great defense. It's not surprising. Utah we'll talk about later. Cam Rising, Jesus Christ. So Michigan's coach sucks. The quarterback sucks. They ain't going to beat anybody. As soon as you get a Michigan-Ohio State line and it's less than 10, bet everything you have on Ohio State. They're going to kill them. They're going to kill them. They're going to kill them. They're going to kill them, as Herman Munster would say. All right, so first winner, lock, Michigan under. Next game, Georgia Tech, Syracuse. I have over 60, so over 54. They play a 59. Georgia Tech, we know, can score. Not a great defense. I'm seeing Syracuse is scoring. Their quarterback looks pretty good, even though he sucked at Ohio State. So we will see. Next game I play is Army getting 4. So I knock it up to 10 because they're my Army team. And they kill Florida Atlantic 24-7. I knew they weren't. It would be close is what I thought. But there was no way they were getting blown out by Florida Atlantic. Hey, Todd. Iowa in the under. Your lock. Okay, now you're locking. My lock was Texas under and Nebraska. We had to hold our breath a little on the Iowa under. as at the end, Iowa State kicks the field goal, and what bullshit clock management. They give him 1 second. The guy, it's not when he goes out, it's when the play's over, right? The guy's getting tackled. The play, this never should have been a play, but our Iowa State team, I'm glad they won. But I was like, because if they scored a touchdown, they ran the kickoff back or something, we were fucked, because then it would have went to 43. Or if Iowa State, I love that last drive by Iowa State. They just came down, boom, boom, boom. But yeah, we had to hold our breath. And that's what TV's doing. Even though he was out and the game was over, they go, no, we'll do one more play so people watch. And that's the whole concept, is to keep us watching. So, oh, no. There was a second left. Let's, keep them in. Keep the viewers longer. It's such bullshit. Anyway, good for you, Todd. You're learning. I can see. I'm happy when my students learn and they can do it. Well, that's the object, is to teach you, and then you can start doing it. I love Nebraska like yesterday. I told you, Prime Junior cannot handle a good defense, and Nebraska has got a very strong defense this year. But then they got Raiola, who's a very good quarterback. So now we got good defense, good quarterback. Look out for Nebraska. I mean, they might not lose. Cam Rising gets hurt again, motherfucker. But it's not serious. He was running out of bounds, so his knee probably didn't want to stop. And he ran into the fucking Gatorade thing, and he hurts these two fingers. I don't know if they're broken or hurt. They were together. They're up 28-0, so he sat out, or 23-0, and their defense just killed it. So again, if he's out a week. Hopefully they play some high school game next week. Did you like that one? Was that a good play, Northern Illinois? I knew they were going to score 20. That's all I knew. Northern Illinois scored 700, got 700 yards. They got 500 yards yesterday, I believe, against Notre Dame's defense that A&M couldn't do. I didn't know Northern Illinois had a defense, but I know Riley Leonard sucks. They're not blowing anybody out. That spread, my spread on the game was like 10-14. Northern Illinois is a good MAC team. Jesus Christ. And I love the game because of the spread. I got 34 points with Northern Illinois. You got 700 yards. And I was like, please make the field goal, win the game. I loved it. And Notre Dame's crying, and all the cheerleaders, and the leprechaun had tears in his eyes. I love it. What a day it was. All right, so let's go through this. So I got the Army, because Florida Atlantic's a weak favorite. Army is a good team, well coached. Next pick was Northern Illinois getting 34, winning 16-14. Have you ever seen that before? A 28-point dog winning the game at Notre Dame against the top. Well, they're not a top 5 team. They're not that good. Not with Riley Leonard. That's why the quarterback's important. So that was an easy winner. Then Iowa State. I played it under 42, and I was surprised to see 19-17 with a couple minutes left. And then Iowa State, I'm like, don't score a touchdown. You can't score a touchdown. And they drove down, and the kid kicks a 50-yard field goal right through the middle. I loved it. So that one wins the under. South Carolina, Kentucky. I have the under here. It was 43-44. So I'm under 49. 31-6. And it was South Carolina that won. I knew South Carolina didn't score against Old D. They changed quarterbacks, put up 31. Kentucky, they get Georgia this week. I think we're betting the under in that one. Jesus Christ, 31-6. But it's 37. It's another winner. It's another under. Utah Baylor. I haven't in ha. Do I want the over? Because I'm assuming Rising's going to play. And then I ended up taking Utah laying the 8. It was 14.5, laying 8.5. And we get the win, but again, it was 23-0, and Rising gets hurt. Like, Jesus Christ, do I got to worry about this guy every week? But again, so taking Utah, great defense, great coach, and Cam Rising when he's healthy. I hope this isn't Aaron Rodgers all reborn again. Then we get to the next play. I didn't play this, but I warned you, San Jose State and the Air Force. I said the San Jose State coach was the Navy coach, and he knows how to defend them. San Jose State wins 17-7, but I didn't play it. I had so many plays, and I didn't discover this till later, and that's why I write my coaches down. So I could see, if Navy's playing Air Force, you're not getting points either. This over-under was 44, and Air Force was 3. I didn't play it, but I knew once I read it in class yesterday, it was going to be a good one. Same thing with Nevada, Georgia Southern. Georgia Southern being a dog, they covered, but I didn't play that one. I play Kansas, Illinois. I play it over, and Daniel sucks. Bean's the good quarterback, but he's not there anymore. He's on Indianapolis. I got it over, and it doesn't go over. And I had 2 losses yesterday. That was one, which made sense that you'd get a high-scoring game, but Kansas ran a lot, and their quarterback sucks. Kansas will not be an over this year unless something changes. But right now, maybe the offensive coordinator went to Penn State, screwed him up. I don't know, but we'll keep an eye on Kansas. They're not an over at this point. Alabama, what happened to them? I didn't play them. Missouri blows out. Ohio State blows out. I didn't play them. The Tennessee and the NC State game was in Tennessee, but it shows it's in NC State. Was this a weather thing, or did something happen that the game was in Tennessee? Because I would have played Tennessee as a home favorite, but not as a road, and they won by 100. All right, my second lock, Nebraska, 6.5, 55.5. I take Nebraska even, -1. Lock, 2 teasers, boom. They win 28-10. 28-10, and it was like 7-0, 14-0, and 28-3. Prime he doesn't run, he can't play defense, and when they play a very good defensive team, forget about him. Oops, there goes Prime. I saw he got sacked 5 times. I said 7. I apologize. Todd, hell yes, sir. Great pick. Thank you, Todd. Appreciate that. I'm trying to balance it. I do want to give a pick or 2, but I got buyers, and you understand that, Todd. You're a buyer, so that's what I kind of keep it down to. But I couldn't resist the Northern Illinois game. I don't know how I didn't lock it, to tell you the truth, but that was good. So the lock was Texas, Michigan under, wins, easy, Nebraska, 28-10, laying 1. I saw that spread. I said, that's ridiculous. That spread should have been 14. Also, 6.5. I get Nebraska even at home in a revenge game with now they have a quarterback, Raiola, and this great defense, and Matt Rule's a good defensive coach. Forget what happened in the pros, but he's been good in college. So, in Colorado, forget about them. When they play, all you got to do in Colorado is check the defense. Oh, they play Oregon or USC or UCLA, Utah. They ain't going to score. Now they're in the Big 12. When they play Utah, they're going to get shut out. Here, they did nothing. Oklahoma sneaks by Houston, didn't play. Clemson, App State. I avoided App State. I did think they'd play a better game. Clemson put it up 60-some points. I was shocked. So that shows you how good Georgia's defense is. Georgia holds them to 3, and then they score 66. So there we go. Oregon, Boise, I have the over there, 61. They play a 73. There was 37-34, a 71. Either way, I'm only over 55, which I knew was a joke. I don't know why I didn't lock this game. Later in the year, I'd lock it, but Good game, 37-34, Oregon over Boise the late night. And then my only other loser, which I happen to put in the same teaser again. I'm getting lucky with that. I did that last week. I had two losers in the same teaser, so it only killed one teaser, not two. Here, Texas Tech, Washington State, over under a 66 down to 60. They don't get anywhere near that. Washington State, I think, just has a kind of a dual quarterback. I don't like when the quarterback runs for like 150 yards and throws for 130. That's a bad team because you're not using your receivers or your running backs. You're just relying on one guy. He'll get hurt, and that'll be it. And that was it. I thought about Arizona State, Old Mississippi State over. It did go over, but I didn't play it. And USC had a big game. I don't think they covered the 63. I think they won 48-0 or something. I'm just watching the game on YouTube now, the highlights to see what's going on there. I'm not sure if it's did USC find a defense? They did a lot of running. I'm not sure what team I'm watching. They're balanced though. They threw for 280, ran for 280. They must listen to me because I told them they have to run the ball more to rest their defense. And all of a sudden he's running the ball more. The people at that will listen to my show, but they don't come out and say hello. All right, so that's it. So a beautiful day. Here's how I played it: Michigan under, lock with Nebraska, 15 units. Play them again, and I played them with SMU. I lost it. I thought about replaying them yesterday, but I let it go. Then I have Nebraska and another teaser, two teasers. I have Iowa State under, two teasers. I had Oregon over, two teasers. That's how you play teasers. People don't realize how to play them. So first you have to align the teams, and then you have to find the match and the risk. So Oregon, I had in a big one. I think I had them with Nebraska, really big. And then, it doesn't have to be. I mean, I put games out there for 15 units that aren't necessarily locks. I try to be selective on the locks because I know people buying the locks, they just want to play like the best game. And so I don't want to flood it too much at this point. I'll flood it later with locks, but like Utah, I didn't play them too strongly because I wasn't sure about Baylor yet. And Northern Illinois, I mean, I should have had them in two big locks, but I didn't. But I did play them. I think I played them with Utah. And anyway, the ones I got fooled on: Kansas over, Washington State over. I'm really looking at last year, and that's raw. I should be waiting till I get the information. That's the only two mistakes I made yesterday. Huge day. Again, locks: Texas, Michigan under, Nebraska to kill Colorado, and they killed them. They killed them. They killed them. They killed them. All right, so it's 11:30, and we got football at 1 o'clock. I've gone through these lines a few times. Well, let's go through them again. I do have one lock going today. If you bought the week, I have one lock, and then I have a couple of big plays. I have another game that I probably should lock, but I'm not, but I'm still playing it for 15 units. We're waiting to hear. Let's see if we got anything on Chase. I'll be shocked if Chase doesn't play. So we hit Baltimore KC under already, and then we hit the over in the Philly Green Bay game. The field looked like it sucked. I watched the replay. They did not score with 8 seconds left. They scored with 30 seconds left. It was 4th and 1, and there was 30 seconds left, and they scored. They kicked a field goal. And so Green Bay had 25 seconds to get down the field. They had the ball at the 50, and they kept slipping. It was a terrible field, probably a soccer field. They weren't wearing the right cleats, but a lot of guys were slipping all over the place. Anyway, so that was an easy over. All right. So now we go to today. We got Caleb and company -4, 43.5 now. So this has been 43, 45. I don't know what they're dicking around with. This is why you make your line and you stick to it and you just ignore all the bullshit. I don't know if it's those algorithms or what the fuck making the lines, moving the lines around like, oh, we need 44, but fuck that. So it's Levis against Caleb. Both had 22 defenses last year. Caleb's going to be in for a rough time. Houston 349, up from 2.5, so a little movement there. 48.5 goes to 49. I don't worry about the half points too much. Houston, Indy, Stroud against Richardson. 21 defense for Houston last year, 24 for Indy. But when Indy played in the playoff game, Houston played the playoff game against Baltimore, they gave up a lot more than 24. Richardson, I have a problem. He can't throw. If he gets deep inside, they'll be kicking field goals. Stroud just wants to run around. It's like high school. They're running around and hope somebody gets open. These aren't plays they're running. Watch the game. So I Houston 340, 49. Arizona, Buffalo 6.5, 46. Kyler Murray against Josh Allen. Arizona with the 27 defense last year, and I doubt it'll get better. Buffalo with an 18. We'll see if it stays at 18. This should be an exciting game. Cincinnati 7.5, 40.5, 41. This is your free play. I don't know. Let's take a look. Well, let me finish the lines. We'll take a look about Chase. I can't imagine he's a game time decision. I don't know why. I mean, he's healthy. I guarantee he'll play. I'll be shocked if the coach keeps him out because this was a contract. And then he's like, okay, I want to play. So a guy who wants to play, you should have out there. Atlanta is 42.5. Wilson against Cousins, I guess. I don't know. Cousins will be way off. New receivers. He didn't do anything with Jefferson. What's he going to do here? Pitt, always a good defense. Atlanta, they're just a weak team. I'm not even sure I understand the line. Russell Wilson, look for him to have a good game. When the bell rings, he'll be there and he'll have a good game. New Orleans 3.5, 41.5. I don't know what's going on here. What are we all afraid of? Steve Young got better. I don't know. Young against Carr. New Orleans with the 19 defense, Carolina at 25, and Carolina sucks. So I don't understand this line at all. My line was New Orleans -7. Miami 3.5, 49.5. Lawrence against Tag. Both defenses are Games in Miami. Yeah, they probably won't punt too much today. Minnesota 142 to the Giants. Not sure why Minnesota's favored in this game. Darnell against Jones. We'll see Danny DeVito soon as Jones gets hurt. Giants with the 24 defense, Mini with the 21. Pathetic game. Seattle 6.5, 42.5. To Denver, Bo Nix against Geno Smith, new coach for Seattle. I think Nix has a good game. I think he'll be better week 5 and 6, but I don't think the moment's too. He's a good quarterback. Both defenses are 24. Hey, Ted, got to go to work, TK. I umpire girls. I used to manage it. That's great. Waiting to see if Cincinnati and the under hits. We'll be checking in for week 3. Have a good day, sir. Well, have a nice time. Enjoy. I like the girls' fast pitch. It's a real good game. I find it better than the boys' little league. More emotion and passion from the girls. Um, okay, Denver, Seattle, San Diego, and Oakland. San Diego 3-40. The line keeps dropping. Oakland with the 20 defense with Max Crosby. Michigan's not going to be able to run San Diego. 23 defense. I'm sure it'll get better with Herba. Minshew against Herbert. Herbert's a little injured. We'll see. Minshew, he's got Brock Bowers. So let's see how that works today. Dallas, Cleveland, 2.5, 41.5. Prescott against, I guess, Watson or Thompson. I'm not sure. They both stink. Thompson's okay. Huntley's okay. Trey Lance sucks. Cooper Rush is probably the best quarterback on the field if they let him out there. Dallas 19 defense, Cleveland 21. It's Micah Parsons against Myles Garrett in this one. Tampa 3.5, 42. Daniels against the Baker. Daniels very good, but we'll probably need him and Nix will probably need 3-4 games to really get comfortable. And wait till Daniels plays Prescott, then he'll really see defense. So we'll see here. Tampa with a 19 defense, Washington a 31 last year. So we don't know. We got to watch. Detroit 4.5, 52.5. Detroit with a 30 defense, the Rams with the 22, Stafford against Goff. If there's a prop out there that Puka and Cooper Kupp can get over 200 yards, I'd play it. They'll both get a ton. I know the Rams have some line problems, I guess. But I don't know, are they going to play or not? They're a little bit injured, but that doesn't mean anything. So it's a revenge game for the Rams. They'll pick apart the defense. So definitely not a lot of punts in this game. Hey, Prophet. Good morning, sir. And then the last game is Frisco against the JETSs. Frisco 43.5. This line keeps falling. It was 5.5. 43.5. Rodgers against Purdy. The Jets are for real with Aaron Rodgers. 21 defense last year. As long as Rodgers plays, it'll be probably 17. And Purdy and the Niners had an 18 defense. Probably get better. I know they fired the defensive coordinator. So those are the plays. The free play Cincinnati. So now let's take a look at Jamar Chase. Let's see. Oh, we can go here. So I meant covers injuries. Let's just jump to Cincinnati. It just says he's questionable with rest. I don't know what that means. It still shows Burrow injured with the wrist. He's not injured with the wrist. Chase, questionable. I guess a game time decision. T. Higgins is doubtful with the hamstring, so I can't imagine them not playing Chase. As long as the coach isn't one of these idiots going, well, he didn't practice. So, although he did practice on Wednesday, didn't he? I think we'll have to see by the line. Let me try. Let's go see if there's any other major injuries. I'm only going to look at the injured. I don't care. The out. Let's see if we get any outs. Isaac for Baltimore. The linebacker's out with the hamstring. Well, they don't even play. Buffalo. Out Jay Solomon, defensive end, oblique. Carolina out tight end. Isaiah Thomas. He went from the Pistons to Carolina. Tight end out with the calf. T. Tremble, tight end, out with the hamstring. So 2 tight ends are out. The Bears. Defensive lineman Pickens out with the groin. Cincinnati, a defensive tackle is out with the thumb, and an offensive tackle is out with the pec. So hopefully the line will be good. But again, they're playing New England. Even without Chase and Burrow, they'd probably still win. Cleveland. Wills, tackle, out with the knee. I'm not going to read the injured. Anybody good injured? Jerry Jeudy injured with the knee. He'll be playing. So I got to figure out who's where. So Judy's now at Cleveland. He's not at Denver. Who's Denver got? Denver's got some receivers. Don't. Sean Payton, I'm sure, got some good ones. Dallas, Jay Stevens, tight end, out. A lot of injuries to the tight ends. Detroit, Melifano. I don't know what an SAF is. He's doubtful with an ankle. And Strickland, another SAF, out with a thumb. Are they safeties? Why don't they just say S? What are they doing? Green Bay's already played. Houston, Stewart, again, SAF, out with the knee. Indy, wide receiver Downs, out with an ankle. Jacksonville, another SAF, out with an Achilles. Kansas City already played. San Diego, Herbert, injured foot. He'll be playing, I'm sure. Chark, wide receiver, I've heard of him, out with the hip. That doesn't help. The Rams, Haberstein, an offensive lineman's questionable with an ankle. They had 3 or 4 offensive linemen, so they're all better. That's why you got to watch these injury lists. Nobody's really. Pukanuka's got an injured knee, but he's playing, I guarantee it. Oakland, defensive end out with the knee, a offensive guard out with an illness. And Richardson, a cornerback, out with the hamstrings. They got 3 guys out, but nobody's. Miami, Jalen Ramsey's got a hurt hamstring. Jay Phillips, a linebacker, has an Achilles, but they're just say injured. These could be last year's. I mean, this is really weak. I love the injured with the rest. What does that fucking mean? Minnesota, nobody out. The Giants, nobody out. The JETS's, the linebacker is out with an ankle. An old lineman's out with the hand. And that's it. A couple other old linemen are injured with shoulders, but I'm sure they'll play. It's Aaron Rodgers. New England, the whole team, guard out with an ankle. They got like 15 guys on the list, but questionables with hips. I couldn't name one player. Hunter Henry got an injured foot. This is a bad roster. New Orleans. D. Jackson, linebacker, out with the calf. K. Saunders, defensive tackle, out with the calf. Holker, never heard of, tight end, out with an ankle. And another linebacker, Jay Ford, out with the hamstring. They got 3 linebackers out, or 2. Yeah, they got 2 linebackers out and a defensive tackle, but I never heard of them. They're just probably, I don't think that matters. Hilarity played. Pitt. Russell Wilson, questionable with the calf. I'm sure he'll play. This is the difference in baseball. When you play once a week, you're playing. You are not missing once a week. If you can walk, you're playing, and you take the shot and put it. You shoot up, and so you can walk and play, and they're playing. They're not missing the game because it's once a week. In baseball, they're all crybabies. Oh yeah, my shoulder hurts. I can't play. I can't pitch for 2 months. So Pitt, it's Russell Wilson. I'm sure playing. A guard's out, defensive tackle's out, and a wide receiver, our Wilson, is out, who I never heard of. So nobody good. I don't see TJ Watt on it, so I'm a happy boy. The 49ers, defensive lineman out, an SAF, I assume safety, is doubtful with the knee. Another linebacker out, Winters, who I've never heard of. So none of the good players, no Boza or anybody. Usually Boza's always injured. Seattle, Tyler Lockett, questionable with the thigh. Noah Fan, injured toe. Yeah, the linebacker for Seattle is out. Nwosu, out with the knee. Tight end, out with the foot. Tampa Bay, ooh, a long list. Jesus Christ, they got 20 guys on this list. Defensive lineman out. Couple of rests. Ribs, abdomen out. Defensive lineman out with the foot. L Hall, never heard of him. And that's it. Tennessee, Adams, the strong safety. Now here it says SS, so I don't know what SAF means. Out with the hip, Adams. I think that's the big Adams. I don't know his first name. And then Reese, the linebacker's out with concussion. So Adams he's the All-Pro safety. And Washington, Marcus Mariota's out. Big fucking deal. And the defensive tackle is doubtful. They're weak defensively anyway. So let me go to Google. And let's see if there's anything on Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase news. News about 17 hours ago. Bengals anticipate Chase playing versus Pats. This is 17 hours ago. Will Jamar Chase place in week 1? 9 hours ago. What to know about Bengals wide receiver status? 43 minutes ago, Jamar Chase hasn't decided whether to play. Well, I thought he was playing. Jamar Chase and Bengals won't reach contract extension agreement per report. Jamar Chase injury update, latest news on Superstar 16 minutes ago. I didn't know he had an injury. Bengals made a change to the designation of wide receiver Chase on the team's injury report. In a somewhat surprising move, the Bengals updated Chase injury listed on Saturday. He was initially listed on the injury with a rest designation. It made sense considering Chase was a limited participation in practice all week. His hold-in amid a contract dispute likely meant he needed a few days to get his conditioning back. However, the Bengals updated his designation on Saturday afternoon, adding an illness to his injury tag ahead of the week 1 opener. Chase is officially active for week 1. Okay. He reportedly woke up ill Saturday, but felt better later in the day. Whatever. Fowler reported the Bengals have had him in the game plan this week in the event he plays. Chase is still listed as questionable on the final injury report, and it's still unclear how much of a workload he gets. He doesn't need much. He just needs to go catch 3 or 4 touchdowns. The superstar wideout told reporters after Friday's practice that he's open to playing in week 1 without a new contract, but also called himself a game-time decision. Chase said if he did play, he would probably be limited until Joe Burrow says, Chase, get over here. It was always the question as to whether Chase would play in week 1, amid the contract dispute, beyond the injury report. They're already expecting to be without fellow star T. Higgins, who tweaked his hamstring in the middle of the week. If Chase doesn't go or severely limited in the opener, the Bengals are likely to rely heavily on God only knows Acevedo, Irvin, Mike Gesicki from Penn State, and Jermaine Burton. Second-year running back Chase Brown also could be moved, involving in the passing game. The Chiefs also elevated wide receiver Kendrick prior to the active roster. The Bengals will release the list at 11:30. All right. So looks like he's in the game plan. Obviously limited. Obviously not in game shape. All we need is 2 or 3 nice touchdown catches. So we will assume he will be. He's going to go. He'll be in the game. All right. So again, your free pick Cincinnati. Even without Chase, it's New England. The key here is Burrow's playing. When you got Mahomes and you got Burrow, Aaron Rodgers, that's the key to betting these teams. We'd love to have Chase out there. We know he's not. He's going to be. He'll come in on 3rd and 5 and catch the pass and go take a break. As the game rolls on, the adrenaline will pump. He'll play more. But the key's Joe Burrow and the fact they're playing New England. So that's still our free play. I was hoping Chase, would be better, but okay. I'm sure he's run a lot. It's just not football shape. So we've hit KC under, Philly over. We've got 1, we've got 2, we've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've got 9 other plays. So we had a total of 11. And of the games I didn't play, I easily could play them. So interesting first week. But I will expect, maybe not in the Pitt Atlanta game, but in the others, I will expect the defenses to get tired. The running quarterbacks hopefully can tire them out. But the problem with the running quarterbacks, as we saw yesterday, they can't look at Riley Leonard. When he had to pass, the guy he couldn't even complete passes. He's a total joke. You had Hartman and couldn't do anything. You should have won with Hartman. But Riley Leonard's terrible. And look at the Michigan. They did what I told them. I told them just go after that orgy guy. Just go for him. Don't go for the fakes. And they were just swarming him. But he can't throw. So he's useless. All he can do is run. So a lot of good over and under plays today. A couple of unders. And a lot of overs. Again, read the quarterback for the over-unders. I mean, it's as simple, but we're going to go with Joe Burrow. We went with Mahomes. We got Aaron Rodgers tomorrow night. Stafford and Goff. And then you get Prescott, and I don't know if it's Deshaun Watson playing or not. It really doesn't matter. This is going to be Micah Parsons against Myles Garrett. This is your game. I haven't written down scores yet. I'll start doing that next week. I did get the week 2 college game, so if there's any questions on that. Hey, James. Welcome to class. So again, we called the Northern Illinois Notre Dame game. I just fucking love it. So what else? I can't give the picks here. I'd give them in the picks class. What else? Let's take a look at week 2 in college football. A lot of fucking games. Jesus. I'm on 2 sheets. Big games next week. Vegas plays Kansas Friday night. Arizona and Kansas State. That'll be a very good game. Michigan, let's see how they bounce back against Arkansas State. And then they get USC the next week. Michigan's in trouble. They're going to lose at least 5 games, if not 6. What's Florida State going to do with Uglia Buglia? Jesus Christ. I mean, they got to just bench him. Take his scholarship or take his NIL money back. Sorry, buddy. You're not worth 5 cents. We'll see LSU, South Carolina. We will see. Alabama goes to Wisconsin. Very interesting. Alabama had a close game. Let me look at these late scores. I haven't penciled them in yet. So USC wins 48-0. And there was half run, half, there was 250. They were balanced offense. Is the defense that good? Oregon and Boise, just what I thought, 37-34 Oregon. I was over only 55. It was 61, which I thought was a joke. And they play a 71. Clemson 66-20 against App State, who's a good team, and you wonder how good Georgia is to keep them to 3. Oklahoma 16, Houston 12. What the fuck was that? I mean, Houston got killed by Vegas, and here Oklahoma at home, and all they could together 16 points. Willie Fritz will get the defense going for Houston. So that first game was that's why we watched week 1. Now against Oklahoma, Oklahoma's in trouble. They're not very good. Ohio State 56-0. They looked really good. Tennessee 51-10. The game was in Tennessee, even though it was supposed to be in North Carolina State. I don't understand that one, but the kid looked good. He was like a big volleyball player, their quarterback, which is a really weird transition, going from a spiker to a quarterback. But I don't know why they changed sites. I would have bet Tennessee at home, but I don't like them on road. Yellow fucking Bama, 42-16. They win by 26. What was their line? Alabama was laying 31 and a 64, and they played if you tease them, you'd have pushed. 31 down to 25. They win by 26 and 64, and they score 56. So you're a loser on the over. South Florida is pretty explosive. So there you go with them. Illinois beats Kansas 23-17, which is a surprise. Kansas only got 17. And that's why I have with the dual quarterback. He struggled to put points up through some turnovers. You get down in their red zone, these Lamars can't do it, right? Missouri 38-0. They are an outstanding team. Brady Cook is a great quarterback. Ole Miss 52-3, and then Northern Illinois we talked about 16-14 over Notre Dame, getting 34 points. How many games are you ever getting 34 points and your team wins? Absolutely, and I wasn't surprised. I saw the score and I wasn't surprised. Riley Leonard stinks, and they have a soft schedule, Notre Dame. But Riley Leonard's not a good guy. I don't know why they got him of all the quarterbacks. They could have had Uglia Buglia maybe. All right, so let's see. Alabama, Wisconsin. Alabama 42-16 over good South Florida team goes in. They will score on Wisconsin, but pretty good defense. Washington State. We got to find out about these two. Tulsa, Oklahoma. Oklahoma's pathetic. Florida and A&M. Florida's terrible. We know that. Notre Dame goes to Purdue. How bad is Notre Dame going to lose this game? We've looked behind the curtain with Northern Illinois. I'll tell you, I'll be betting Northern Illinois in the MAC every fucking week. I mean, what a team that is. I don't know. We'll have to see there. Purdue, pretty good offense. Oregon and Oregon State. We saw Oregon finally light it up. Let's see. Troy goes to Iowa. I love the Iowa State. I love the way Rocco back. They come back and get the win. Unbelievable. And they kept giving them the sidelines. It's like, what the fuck are you doing? You take the sidelines away so they can't catch and go out of bounds. That's rule number one in this defending it. Utah State. What's with Cam Rising again? But he hurt his two fingers, so this I don't know. He can probably I don't know. And he should never have gotten hurt. He should have protected his hand running into the Gatorade thing. Really? You ran in, you couldn't stop or turn or do something? Let's see. Texas gets UTSA. They should kill them. Texas looks for real. Michigan's got a great defense. They put up 31 on them. They're going to put up 61 on UTSA. I don't think they'll be flat at home. And I think they got Georgia waiting for them. Let's see. Georgia gets Kentucky. Kentucky just got blown out by South Carolina. Are you kidding me? I'll bet if I can make this prop bet, Georgia will shut them out, right? I bet Kentucky doesn't get past midfield in the game. UCF TCU, that looks like an over, depending on what line we get. New Mexico, Auburn could be interesting. Indiana, UCLA. Indiana is a very live dog here. I don't have the line yet. I'll make my own up, but UCLA struggled with Hawaii. Indiana has the James Madison coach. They should be good. Yes, I do love Cam Rising because he makes me a lot of money. I mean, he made me money yesterday. He's a great quarterback. We've been making money on him for 2 years. Well, not last year, but the year before. All of a sudden, they're averaging 50 points a game, and Vegas is giving me Utah in the 40s as my over-under. So by halftime, I'm over with Cam Rising. He's a good quarterback. Tennessee gets Kent State. Holy, they're going to win this game by 70. Rice and Houston. I don't know how Houston looks like they'll be an under team because Donovan Smith stinks. And that's it. So no real big games next week, but we're starting to get a feel. So I go into the box score and I go on my spreadsheet and I say, okay, this is a strong defense, an A, a Z, an over and under. So we will start doing that. I got to fill in my scores. What a day yesterday. Hoping for that again. So I got one lot going. Free pick is Cincinnati. Chase will play. If Joe Burrow says, I need you out there, he's out there. He's expecting to play. It's just maybe 20 plays. And that's it. And they're playing New England. New England has no coach, has no quarterback, has no defense because they don't have Belichick anymore. Jared Mayo has never coached in his life. Oh, welcome to the NFL. And you get to play Joe Burrow. Wow. All right. So keep that in mind. Don't fuck with good defenses. About all I can tell you. Be careful in the pit game. I wouldn't take that over. Let's look at wild defenses last year. Baltimore and KC had 17s. Pitt was a 19. Buffalo was an 18. New Orleans was a 19. And Dallas was a 19. Cleveland was a 20. Tampa Bay was a 19. And the Niners were an 18. And the Jets were a 21. But that's kind of the Jets aren't getting, if Rodgers is there, they're a 16 because the guy's turning the ball over, so they're giving up points on a 20-yard field. Makes the defense look worse. Those are what you keep your eye on. Just like yesterday with Nebraska, Colorado, I knew Prime Jr. is going to struggle against that Nebraska defense. It's real. It's a very good defense. It's a top 5 defense. So you're not going to throw all over about it. However, that's what you're looking for. And then vice versa, you're looking for the weak defenses. So in the Ram-Detroit game, I mean, you're going to see Puka and Cooper Kupp get 200 yards each, just like Jefferson did, and he did it twice, and C.D. Lamb did it, and Mike fucking Evans did it. And I think Ayuk did it in the championship game. So Detroit's very delusional right now, thinking they got to the championship game. It's like Michigan getting to the championship game in college. They didn't play anybody. They had a weak Ohio State team, and then they got lucky beating Alabama. Okay, and then they got lucky when Washington's running back was hurt. And that's what the Lions played nobody last year. The ones they did play, Baltimore, and they lost to Green Bay, Chicago, and Dallas. Against the good teams, they lost. So they're not that good. They get lucky in the playoffs because they beat the Rams. Okay, give them that. But they didn't show up in the second half. Then they beat Tampa. Again, didn't show up. And then so they had, instead of playing Dallas and Philly, they both fizz out, and they get the Rams in Tampa, and then they go to Niners and they get killed. So they're living in delusion land of going to the Super Bowl. They won't beat the Rams. They won't beat the Niners. I don't know their whole schedule. I think they get Dallas again, which they can beat because Prescott's so bad. Trey Lance even worse. If you see Trey Lance, we're betting heavily against him. And that's what you see. But so against good defenses, which the Lions will see more, they won't do anything. Hence, Baltimore 34, Detroit 3. Oh, they just had a bad day. Yeah, they played a good team. And when they beat Atlanta and Carolina, it was what? Oh, yeah, look how good they are. So they're not analyzing the wins and the losses. They're just, they got to the championship game. So this year they'll go to the Super Bowl, and you're like, oh, my God, you've got to be out of your minds. But let them think that. There's no fucking way that's possible. They won't win the division the way Green Bay looked. Green Bay is going to win the division. For you division bettors out there. Let's walk through Pitt. Good defense. Russell Wilson, if he's good, they'll be good. Atlanta, they need Penix out there. Cousins sucks. We've seen him suck for 7-8 years. What do we? Oh, that's what Atlanta needs. Well, they had Matt Ryan. They got to the Super Bowl. Cousins is not better than Matt Ryan. Penix, I think, is, or at least he's as good. So Atlanta will get better when Penix is out there. Otherwise, I wouldn't count on Atlanta, winning because of Cousins. Arizona, pretty much an over team, good offense, and they added Marvin Harrison, which who knows how good he'll be, and a weak defense. And Buffalo, strong. Josh Allen runs too much, but they score a lot, and then they got a pretty good defense. Not great, though. Tennessee, no quarterback. Will Levis sucks. I saw Malik Willis is on Green Bay. Like, why did he threw the Hail Mary, not Love? I can Love not throw the ball 50 yards? I was shocked by that. So he's not on Tennessee anymore. So it's Levis and Mason Rudolph, I guess. Levis is terrible. I don't know what their defense would be like without Vrabel. Chicago, supposedly a good defense. I didn't really see much of it last year. And they're going to struggle offensively with Caleb. That's just the bottom line. So they'll probably be a low-scoring team, I think. New England, they're the worst team in the league. Really weak offense with Brissett. Really weak defense without Belichick. We'll see. Cincinnati with Burrow back, they'll get Chase. Well, he's probably playing today. Look for them to be really pissed about not making the playoffs last year. So they got the blood in their eyes, and they got Burrow back. So as long as Burrow is not going to do a Cam Rising on us, they'll do very good with Burrow. I don't know who their running back is. I know they let him go, so we'll find that today. Houston with Stroud, 21 defense. who the hell knows? He's not very good. He runs around a lot. He scrambles a lot. Reminds me of Fran Tarkington. We remember how many Super Bowls Fran Tarkington won. Oh, yeah, none. They won with their defense. Does Houston have a good defense? I don't think so. Indy, they have a weak defense. Richardson wants to run. He'll get hurt. And then when they go to Jason Bean, the Kansas quarterback, they'll be better because he's a good passer. He's a good quarterback. You don't want the running guys. They don't do anything for you. Jacksonville and Miami. Jacksonville, 22 defense. Lawrence is not a good quarterback, but he runs a lot. Another runner who can't throw, and I don't get. He should never have been the first pick in the draft. Would you rather have? Okay, we'll go with the Georgia quarterback. Would you rather have him or Trevor Lawrence? I mean, it's not even close. Yes, a healthy Cam Rising I would have over him. Their defense is suspect, not great. Miami has no defense, and Tagovailoa, and as long as they have Tyreek Hill playing, they are a very strong scoring team with no defense, much like the Lions, and there's a few other over teams. Seattle's like that. Green Bay's like that. Philadelphia's like that. Carolina, Z team, worst team in the league. No defense, 25 defense, and Steve Young's terrible. New Orleans, I mean, they got Kamara and Olave and Fairchild from Kansas. They should be very good. They had a 19 defense. They should be very good if Carr gets going or go to Jake Hayner. But definitely look for them to be they're definitely a playoff team. Carolina, I don't see how they can win a game with Bryce Young. Minnesota and the Giants, probably the two worst teams. They're right up there with New England and Carolina. I mean, you're not winning with Darnold. They have a pretty decent defense, and they got Jefferson. So I think if they go to Nick Mullins, they can be more explosive offensively. And the Giants with Daniel Jones, he's terrible. Their defense, I don't know. They got rid of Barkley. They're fucked. And they'll probably go to Danny DeVito more. So you don't have a lot of offense on the Giants. Oakland, Minshew comes over. You drafted Brock Bowers. You got Devontae Adams. Oakland can be a very big surprise team. Their defense is great. So we will see what they do. San Diego, Harbaugh's already ruined the team. You got rid of whatchamacallit, the receiver. I always have a block with this guy. I want to say Edwards, but that's not right. Anyway, so they have no receivers there. And then they don't draft Brock Bowers. They draft McConkey, who's okay. He wasn't like a great receiver for him. Herbert's a little banged up. They're going to try to run the ball. I think Harbaugh's still in the Big Ten. He thinks they're playing Purdue and Indiana. They're not going to move the ball against Oakland. So I think San Diego's an under team, as is Oakland. I think good defenses, and Oakland's probably a better offense with Minshew and Brock Bowers, and we'll see who they're. I think they got Sensor McCormick finally playing from UTSA. He's a great running back, very hard to tackle, more of a scat back type. Well, Miami's defense sucks. It sucked last year, but yeah, the coach is an offensive coordinator, kind of. It's not even that. He was a towel boy for the Niners. So, all right, he's got Tyreek Hill and Waddle, and and Tagovailoa never shows up in the big games. You need the defense to do it. They don't have it. He doesn't even know how to do the defense. So yeah, there's no defense. Denver. Now, Sean Payton got Bo Nix, who I like a lot. I think he'll do fine. They had a 24 defense. So this I don't know. They've made so many changes with Sean Payton. We know he won the Super Bowl. We know New Orleans had good defenses. We know they had Drew Brees. So Bo Nix, I feel, will do very well there. Uh, so we'll wait and see how good their defense is. I think it'll be okay. And then Seattle, um, Geno Smith is terrible. You've got Lockett and Metcalf are great receivers. You got Walker, great running back. You just need a quarterback. Unfortunately, they got Geno Smith, and then they bring in a new offensive coordinator and get rid of Coach Pete. It's just freaking ridiculous. So they had a 24 defense last year. It's not going to get any better with an offensive coordinator guy in there. They didn't need help with their offense. They were fine. Dallas, Prescott sucks. Great defense, Micah Parsons. They're probably more of an under team. Cleveland, I don't know who the quarterback is. They'll just run Nick Chubb to death and Myles Garrett, and they'll just play to Myles Garrett like Dallas will play to Micah Parsons. They'll just no errors, just get the ball, punt, get the ball downfield, let our defense get the turnovers. So Dallas had a 19 defense, Cleveland 21. So Cleveland very strong defensive team. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's like, and they keep winning, and you're like, who are they? I don't really know. I don't know the coach, but I think the coach is pretty good. They got to go to Thompson Robinson over Watson, so we will see. Watson's terrible, and they guarantee him money. Like, what is wrong with these people? Guaranteeing these guys money is just incredible. Then don't bitch about paying the other contracts if you want to guarantee somebody who hasn't played in 4 years now. Washington, we don't know. 31 defense. They had Daniels. They don't add a lot of defense. I'm not thinking their defense is much better. But with Daniels, we got to see him. They're probably going to be an over team. He can run and throw. Does he have receivers and running backs? The coach sucks. It's very difficult. What they could be an over team, but we have no idea. This is a 3-week watch. Tampa Bay with Baker and a 19 defense. He's average. The coach sucks there. A lot of bad coaches in the NFL. This is a big problem. And they'll bring in these offensive coordinators like in Miami to help the offense because they think they want to sell tickets. So they want to be a business and sell tickets, but nobody wants to see losers. So I don't know. The Rams we talked about with Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp, they brought in some good defense in the draft. They weren't bad last year. Aaron Donald did retire. Stafford's good. Stenson Benson's a good backup. I feel comfortable with him. And Kupp and Nacua. There's it's going to be very tough to cover them. Look for them to get some good points and they should be a live dog. Let's see how the defense is. And then I think they got some running. So I think they're going to be very balanced and be all right. Even if the linemen are a little hurt, then you got these big running backs to block also or keep a tight end. And who cares? They can't cover Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp. It doesn't matter. Lions, good offense, no defense. Goff's a choke. Both playoff games, they got up at half, and then he didn't come out for the second halves. They scored 3 points. So that was a big, but they have no defense. Who is, there you are. Just a second. So Daria's daughter's in school, and I said, I bet she hates it, like public school. And she says, yeah, she hates it. I go, everybody hates school. It's boring. Where are we at? Dak Prescott signed 4 years, $230 million. Well, Dallas, that's another 4 years. They won't do anything in the playoffs. Great game with Notre Dame. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Absolutely love. I love that pick. That's what I look for, the weak favorite, the strong dog, especially. This is why I look at the stats. They got 700 yards offense. There's no way they were getting shut out by Notre Dame. And I didn't know their defense was that good, but Notre Dame's offense kind of sucks. That's why I bet the under in the Notre Dame A&M game, knowing neither team's got an offense. Riley Leonard sucks. But again, you got to know the quarterbacks and the players. Sean Anthony. Hey, Sean. Welcome to class. My free teaser was Northern Illinois with the Cincinnati Bengals. So you get half of it. You get Northern Illinois. You get Cincinnati today. Chase will play. I don't know how long, but when Burrow needs him, he'll be there. Well, I mean, I gave Northern Illinois the free teaser was since Northern Illinois with Cincinnati Bengals. That was the free play. Over unders, you have to buy my picks. I'll give you one free pick. There's a class for $25. You can sign, and I'll walk through the games with the picks and the scores, the locks, everything else, or you can just buy the picks on site. But I'm not going through. I got buyers that don't like when they're buying and I'm then giving the picks out. So no, I can't do that. But I gave you Northern Illinois and Cincinnati. So $25 for the class. We don't really have time to do the class right now. As the game's starting a half hour, but yeah, I mean, keep that in mind for next week. Or you can purchase the NFL picks for $75. So your choice. You're coming late to the party, Sean, but yeah, feel free. Just go to Teaser King. I got Daria on the text. I'm doing it. We'll have to purchase the NFL games at 3 p.m. today. All right, send me. Why don't you send me $35, and I will give you the picks. You get my email at Teaser King, so I'll show you where to go. So go here, teaserking.com, and hit the home button, and you'll get my email somewhere around here. There's my email. Just do a PayPal to there for $35, and I'll give you today's picks. Or if you want this, after 3:30 and or whatever. You want the 4 o'clock, the night game, and the Monday night game is fine. I played the night game, the Monday night game, a couple of later games. So yeah, I have some. You missed the Baltimore. I had Baltimore KC under, which one, and then Green Bay Philly over. Those were very easy ones. Well, KC I had to sweat, but Green Bay Philly was over in the third quarter. The key is understanding the teams. Are they over or under teams? And a lot of it's the stats, a lot of it's the defense. It's harder in college because they play the high school teams, and when they play the high school teams, the stats don't mean anything. But yesterday, Ohio State played a Western Michigan, who's a MAC team, and they killed them. So now you go, yeah, they're for real. The high school teams, I really got to throw out the stats, which makes it hard to know if they're over or under. An example was like BYU scored like 70 points against the high school team and then put up 18 on SMU. And from what I can see, BYU's got a pretty strong defense. And I believe SMU does. And I guess they took Stone out just because he was playing bad. I'm like, shit, I need the over. And then they went to a dual quarterback who sucked. SMU's in big trouble if they don't go back to Stone. Okay, Sean, you know the info. That's fine. Well, I got class. You can email me. Why don't you email me is better. But yeah, and then we can set you up where if you want to take the class for 25, we'll figure out a time. I do a Monday night class with the gentleman in California. So he gets home from work at 6. So we do it at 9 o'clock on Zoom. And he wants to learn how to pick games. So it's $25 a class. You're welcome to join the Zoom there, or we'll just do a YouTube like I do here. Only I'll give you the scores and the games and the picks and the locks and of every team that I every play, one for pro, one for college. So you can do it that way to ask me questions about who do you like in the Philly Green Bay game, and I would have told you go over with it, and you would have won. So as we get 2-3 weeks into it, we then get the identity of the teams. I wasn't sure how Philadelphia was going to be with all the new quarterback coordinators. They still look sloppy defensively, but offensively with Saquon Barkley, they're much better. Green Bay looks very, very strong offensively again. KC, look out for them, man. With that defense, you start giving them an offense like that Worthy guy, holy fuck. I don't think I recall him at Texas, but Jesus, he's fast. So keep an eye on that. So anytime, Sean, yeah, just go ahead and do that. So that's what I'll be doing today is I'll be studying the college, mostly the box scores, because it tells me when the quarterback throws for 130 and runs for 130, I know he's a dual. I bring in the stats. So now I have the scores. I have the rushing and passing offenses and total yards. I worry more about the offenses. And then I kind of can tell by the score if they have a good defense, like USC 48-0. All right, what the fuck's going on with them? And that's fine. And that's what we adjust. They were an over team last year. They couldn't stop the win. So we look for another over team like them. And then we see, oh, no, they're now an A team because they have the offense, but now they got a good defense. And then you see like Michigan and their quarterback sucks. They have no offense and a fairly good defense, but Texas exposed their defense. That was my bitch about Michigan last year. They never played a good passing quarterback. So therefore, they never. So it looked like they had this great defense, but they didn't play any quarterback. Even though Ohio State quarterback sucked. Here, Ewers comes and he lights them up. They're wide open all over the place. So now you see the weakness of the defense if they played a good quarterback, which they didn't do last year. They were busy playing Hawaii and Ball State and stuff like that, they didn't play a good offensive team. They got lucky that they played Washington and not Texas in the championship game. Texas would have beat them. And Washington with Penix was so dominant. And I thought Penix would light them up. I was surprised by that score. But that's what you're looking for. And it's the same thing. Notre Dame will not have an offense. And you just go down the list and you look at the quarterbacks and their stats and you go, fuck, he's got 1 touchdown and 5 picks. You're not scoring with this guy. And then consequently, you look for the quarterbacks. He's got some nobody. He's got 6 touchdowns and no interceptions. I want to bet on that guy. And that's what I find. So that's what I'll be doing. I think, where did I leave off? So the Rams, the Rams, great receivers. The defense I think will get better. The running game, I think they got some good runners. And then it's just how good's their defense going to be without Aaron Donald. And again, they have a great coach. The Lions, the coach, not very good. Good offense if Goff has time. If Goff gets blitzed and he has to run around, a lot of interceptions. Hooker's better than Goff, but nobody will listen to me because look what Goff did. He beat Atlanta and Carolina last year. 30 defense because I tweak out the early first 4 or 5 games and I bring in getting killed by the Bears, the Packers, Baltimore, so I started from there and I go, well, in the last 9 games, you're giving up 30 a game. So that's the real defense. And then here against the Rams, they're gonna torch the secondary. They kept the defensive coordinator, which means the secondary won't change, the coverage won't change. They're fucked. And then the JETSs, look for them to have great defense. The Niner defense with Aaron Rodgers and the Packer offense, this team will be very hard to beat if Rodgers can stay healthy. And the Niners, they went to a new defensive coordinator, even though they had an 18 defense, because he didn't blitz Mahomes in the Super Bowl. They fired him. Beautiful. That's what I would do. Why didn't he blitz Mahomes? What's the guy thinking about? This fucking Super Bowl. So Purdy's okay. He's okay. He wins games for you. He's like Stenson Benson. He'll win games for you. He's no Cam Rising. So you've got the great defense. You got McCaffrey and you got Deebo Samuel and Kittle. So they are very explosive all over. They're a solid A team. Hard to bet against. And they got a great defense. So they will give teams like the Rams problems because their defense will bother them. Outside of that, that's what you're looking for. So that's why are you a good defensive team or bad? Are you a good offensive team or bad? And that's what you're looking for. Is the good offensive team going against a weak defensive team, and the good defensive team playing another good defensive team, or playing or shutting down a good offensive team like Dan Fouts, Dan Marino. Why do you think they never won Super Bowls? Because they'd go up against a good defense and they'd throw a bunch of interceptions because they knew how to defend them because they're a good defense. So you always want to bet the good defense. That's where your upsets happen. I don't know that Northern Illinois had a good defense, but that's where your upset happens. They can shut you down, right? Illinois shut down Kansas yesterday. That's the difference. When you get the shutdown defense, you can't score, you lose. So that's what we're looking at. So we'll see what happens today. I think Oakland has a shutdown defense. San Diego probably will. New Orleans could have a shutdown defense. We'll have to see there. Cincinnati, I'm curious. With Burrow, I think they'll play much better because he'll put them on long drives and rest the defense. And then when you play with the lead, it's a lot different than not playing with the lead, right? If you're behind, they can run on you. If you got the lead, they got to throw. They become more one-dimensional, and that's what you're trying to do to teams. You're trying to make them one-dimensional. That's why we try to bet on teams with two-dimensional. We're seeing USC throw for 280 and run for 280 yesterday going, oh, Last year it was throw for 300 and run for 50. And so now we will see what they're really like. So keep that in mind. Kind of what you're trying to figure out. And that's what I do. I figure it out. College, pro, it doesn't matter. It's all the same. Georgia, don't fuck with Georgia. You don't bet against them. And you read these early games like Oklahoma. Really? You played Houston in 16-14 game or something like that? Houston will get better because of their coach. So do they have a good coach or not? Troy's all fucked up. They got the Notre Dame coach who sucks. And they I think they lost to Nevada yesterday. I mean, they're pathetic. But Vegas hasn't caught on yet because they're still using last year's trends. So it's very important to get your thoughts and stick to it. Money was going on Colorado yesterday, and I locked Nebraska, and I made another bet. You got to be stoic. You got to know what you. Nobody was talking me off of Northern Illinois or Nebraska yesterday, and that's the key: is stick to your guns. No, analyze it, figure it out, get your game, put in your spread, and go from there. And then you're trying to. Then you stay with your spread, right? Okay, this is what I think Nebraska is going to beat Colorado. They have trouble with good defenses. They analyze. They have a good defense, and you go with it. And that's what I do. So I don't really pay attention. Once I make up my mind where the line's going, I will look at the line dropping, going, why? Like, Will Chase play a lot today, but he will play. And I think New England's so bad that I seriously don't think – I think Georgia would beat New England by 4 touchdowns, right? And probably Ohio State also. So we will see. But anyway, so that's week 1. So good luck today. Again, free pick Cincinnati. You lay 1.5. And you get to figure out the other game or the over-under. If you didn't bet it with Northern Illinois yesterday, which – 28-point dog wins the game. I didn't count on that, but I did count on the 28-point. The 34 points, I had no problem with that. Anyway, any other questions, comments, anything you want to know? We could rate the quarterbacks. So we know Mahomes is the best. Lamar proved Lamar. He had the guy wide open on second down in the end zone to tie the game. He overthrows him. Mahomes nails the guy in the chest. That's the difference. Lamar's a good runner, but he's not a good quarterback. And that's the problem with running quarterbacks who can't throw. Every once in a while, a Russell Wilson's good, or a good running quarterback can be a good passer. Jalen Hurts missed a lot of wide opens. Jordan Love looks pretty good. We'll see with Russell Wilson. He looks he can be good. I would think he'd be good here. Kirk Cousins stinks. I mean, he makes some good throws, but he makes too many interceptions. He misses too many players, and he doesn't win. He's just not a winner. Penix is a winner. I would much rather have Penix out there because he is a winner, but give him 3 or 4 weeks to get comfortable with the league. You don't want to start. Caleb's going to do nothing today because he's not ready. He wasn't ready at USC last year. So you got to get him ready and used to the speed and the defense, and he's not going to – they're going to blitz him. I give him 4 sacks today and 2 picks. Now, in 10 weeks, he might not do that, but right now, big trouble. Kyler Murray's very good. Josh Allen, very good. Will Levis, I don't know what he's doing there. He's got a big arm. Yeah, but what team does he throw it to? I just talked about Caleb. Brissett's terrible. Burrow's the best. C.J. Stroud is too much high school. He's running around and then hopes somebody gets open down the field. I mean, that's just bullshit quarterback play. And CJ and Richardson was nothing in Florida. I don't know how he got drafted, and he's a good athlete. Great, make him a running back, not a quarterback. Same with Trevor Lawrence, not very good. Tagliabue can't handle the big game. Every big game he chokes. So this game, he'll probably do okay. I think they play Buffalo next week. I would never bet Miami against Buffalo. Bryce Young, terrible. Carr on New Orleans. He's okay. He's not as good as I thought he would be. He was great at Fresno State. We will see what he does. Hopefully the offensive coordinator is better at New Orleans and the head coach gets better, but they're keeping him down. But he's got Kamara and Olave and Fairchild. He should do fine. Minnesota, I mean, Darnell, really? Okay, J.J. McCarthy was nothing anyway. So his injury doesn't really hurt him. Darnell was going to start, but he's terrible. How do you end up with this guy? Mullins is okay, but a lot of picks. Daniel Jones, how he got drafted, I don't know. How he got a new contract. The Giants, he must have blackmail information on the Giants because this guy is not a pro quarterback. Danny DeVito is not really good, but he's better than Jones. Minshew's okay from Washington State. He can throw the ball good. Not too many interceptions. He's okay. Justin Herbert's very good, no question. Bo Nix, very good. He'll give him about 3-4 weeks. Geno Smith is not a first string quarterback. He wasn't very good in college, and he's not very good here. Prescott's terrible. Too many interceptions. He can't read defense. He doesn't know what he's doing out there. And Deshaun Watson was good at Clemson. We'll leave it there. He had a few years at Houston. Now he sucks. Thompson Robinson was good at UCLA. We haven't seen enough of him. He should be okay. I didn't mind him. Washington Daniels, no problem. But, again, he needs 3-4 weeks. And Baker Mayfield's good. Stafford's very good. Goff's a choke. Aaron Rodgers is all-star. And Brock Purdy is not bad. He's not Mahomes, he's not Burrow. He's like the next level, but he did come back and win a few games, the Lion game, the Green Bay game. So he's starting to play better. He's not all there yet. And that's about it. So we will learn more about the defenses. That's what we're really looking at. Like KC won 27-20. Could have been 27-all. Is KC's defense that good? Now, the first couple of weeks, since they don't play preseason, they don't really have the wind, and they're not in football shape. You can run up the hills like Jerry Rice did, but until you're playing in the game and getting hit and tackling and then getting up for the next play and rushing at the quarterback for 4 quarters, they're not in shape. So I think they got tired. I think you'll see that today. And I think by week 3 they should be in shape. It's so stupid by the coaches. We don't want to get anybody hurt, but meanwhile you throw away 3 regular games by having the coaches not play the guys. The guys aren't ready. And then throw in the stupid bye. So they haven't even played, but the preseason is the coaches do not understand the preseason. It's about conditioning. It's about the timing of the quarterback to the receivers. It's the defensive guys timing the snap counts, beating the defensive lineman and sacking the quarterback. So these coaches are just fucking clueless. Where did the Lions coach get off not playing his starters at all in the where does he get off? They're not that good. Where does he get off with that? So I'll be the most shocked guy if the Lions just get to the championship game this year. I'll be shocked. They won't win the division. Green Bay's clearly better, a little better defense, much better coach. And, Dan Campbell's is a motivator but he doesn't know how to coach. And his decisions on this go for 2 and 4 down, like the Dallas game, he goes for 2, then there's a penalty, and then it's at the 7, and he's still going for 2. Okay, what kind of idiot does that? And all you need is 1 point to tie. We're going for the win. Why? Why are you going for? Oh, you're teaching your players how to win. Oh, and now you just taught them how to lose. You taught them you're an idiot. This is the problem with the coaches. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. Too much of these 4th down things, too much of these, you know, the problem with the algorithms or the analytics, whatever the fuck you want to call them. Oh, go for 4th and 2, you'll get it. Yeah, but it's a general mix of all the teams against Baltimore and Dallas and Cleveland and the 49ers and Kansas City. You ain't getting any 4th downs. You got to be kidding me. I bet you they had 0%. So you got to look at who you're playing, right? That's the whole key. But, we'll see. But this is where the coaches cost you. But I don't think the Lions are that good. I think Green Bay has the better coach. Love's just as good as Goff. Hooker should be the quarterback. Coach isn't that smart to play him at quarterback because Goff keeps choking. Yeah, I forgot that. Anyway, that's what the coaches. Coaches in the pros are terrible at most teams. Shanahan, I'm still not. How many times is he going to choke in the Super Bowl? That's 3 times. Right? Choked to KC twice, and when he was at Atlanta, he was the offensive coordinator. So I'm not sold on that guy. We do like McVay, good coach. And Sean Payton's probably the best one now that Coach Pete's gone. How do you get rid of Coach Pete? That's just unbelievable. And then how does Dallas keep their coach? What are you fucking kidding me? McCarthy's terrible. He had Aaron Rodgers for what, 10 years and won 1 Super Bowl? And then he kept being the 1 seed and losing. Yeah, I want him as my coach because he always loses. I mean, you got to be kidding. Cleveland, I don't know who their coach is. Washington, I don't even know who their coach is. I think they fired one, got a new one. Tampa's coach, I know, sucks. I think Washington's got that terrible coach also. San Diego with Harbaugh. Oh my God! I wrote a tweet yesterday responding to him, going, "How are you going to cheat this year? And you don't have a Big Ten schedule either. Like, I mean, not only did they have no schedule, they cheated. I mean, how do you respect a guy like this? This is insane. San Diego hires him." Anyway, Oakland, we got to find out about their coach. Minnesota, there's just a lot of bad coaches in the league. I don't even know how good Cincinnati's coach is. It doesn't matter. They got Joe Burrow. So he supersedes the coach. He probably calls his own plays. If you ever get a chance, watch that LSU season. He's got Jefferson on one side, Chase on the other, Chocolate Clear at the running back. He's got Moss Jr. at tight end. What a fucking team. They had a great defense, too. But could you imagine a guy like Burrow with Chase and Jefferson to throw to? Holy fuck. So, well, I'm hoping Chase. Let's see if the line gets updated here. If it goes to 8, he's playing. Let's see. I think he's playing anyway, but let's see if we got. Well, let's go through the lines. 12:48. The Bears still 443. I don't know why anybody would bet the Bears today. Houston 348. Buffalo 6.5, 45.5. Cincinnati still sitting at 7.5, 41. Is the total drop? Yeah, the total was 42.5, is now 41. But I don't think New England scores in the game. Atlanta 42.5. That's a big number to give Pittsburgh. New Orleans 3.5, 41.5. I got New Orleans laying 7 in the game. How the fuck is this 3.5? How do you think Carolina's any good? What is this, ESPN doing their bullshit? This is why you can't listen to them. How is this game 3.5? In what world is Carolina 3.5 to New Orleans at New Orleans with Bryce Young as quarterback? Are you fucking kidding me? Miami 3.5, 49.5. Minnesota, how are they favored? 142. Seattle 6.5, 42.5. Nobody likes Bo Nix, I guess, except for me. San Diego 3, 40.5, 41.5 to Oakland. I wouldn't be surprised if Oakland wins this game. Brock Bowers. Cleveland 2.5, 41.5. Good luck, Dak Prescott. Is there a thing we can bet 2 interceptions by Dak Prescott in every game? Tampa 3.5, 42. Detroit 4.5. There's a 5, 53.5. So the over is being bet up from 52.5. What the fuck's? Do you really believe in the Lions and you're going to ignore Cooper Kupp and Puka Nuka? You're just going to ignore they're not going to have a good game? Are you fucking crazy? And the Niners are 4, 43.5, and that's where they've been. So a few strange line movements. People that bet on Carolina have to have their head examined. You shouldn't be betting if you don't know what you're doing. You're welcome, Greg and John. So I think that's about it. Let's get ready for the game. I don't think I'll do economics today. I got homework to do with college football, and we'll see about the pros. So anyway, we'll start making our college lines now and go with that. So good luck, everybody. Again, Cincinnati was the teaser with Northern Illinois, which one is a 34-point dog. I can't believe it. I was happy they won, but I can't believe it. I kept looking at the score, and it was like 13-7 Northern Illinois, and I go, well, I'm getting 34. I thought I'd get 20, and I got 16, so that was pretty close. And New Orleans, I knew wouldn't. Notre Dame, I knew wouldn't get close to it. So anyway, keep in line. If you want me to go through all the picks, then just there's that class we'll do for $25. And I'll do just what I'm doing now, and I'll go through all the picks. Mondays and Tuesdays, I can go through picking the teams and what are the teams, offense, defense, ranking the teams, how they looked, and stuff like that. So I can do the analysis of the teams, but I'm not going to pick the games. You have to do that in class. Prophet. Well, thank you, Prophet. Yeah, I had a feel, and you get 700 yards of offense, and I don't care if you're playing a junior high team. That's pretty explosive. That one touchdown the guy did. I mean, he just caught the ball and was gone. Notre Dame couldn't even. He was just boom. That's when I knew I won when that guy ran that long pass. But thank you very much, and. If the key is understanding the variables, it's understanding Notre Dame's not a high-powered team because they don't have a good quarterback. Versus Ohio State's got Will Howard and they're going to score 100 points, and Alabama, and so it's understanding the teams and everything else. Now, if we see an Alabama spread of anything under 10 against Wisconsin, you don't even need to ask. That'll be the free pick. Alabama, if it's 7 or 8. I'll bet them so quickly your head will spin. That's what we're looking for. We already can determine by the matchup who we're going to play if we get the right line. And that's really the key to betting. And then it's all the locks are in more than one teaser. Like I said, so Texas under was in 2 and Nebraska was in 2. And just go from there. So there's a boatload of picks today. It's a lot of over-unders because I'm not sure of the teams. There's a couple like Cincinnati was one of the few I took the team. Most of the games are over-unders just because looking at the quarterbacks, they're just pathetic. So anyway, anything else? We got 8 minutes. I can hang out till 1. And then I will do my class. Watch the new quarterbacks. Watch Caleb. Watch Daniels. Watch Bo Nix today. And if Penix gets in. And we'll keep an eye on Cincinnati, but Chase will play. He's too excited. It's Sunday. It's game day. He's going to play. Believe me, at the end of the day, he'll be out there. If we need a touchdown, he'll be out there. But I don't think it'll get to that. New England's just so bad. All right, so keep an eye on the games, the quarterbacks, the defenses is what you're watching for. And we will see. So I've written out college football. Now I'm going to put in, I got to adjust the teams, find the Z teams, and then go put in the score, put in my own point spread. And then I compare it to the Vegas point spread. That's what you do. So you look at your spread. I got them like New Orleans. I got them laying 7 to Carolina, and they're 3.5. What's wrong with that picture? So I got a free teaser where if I take New Orleans plus 2.5, I'm expecting to lay 1. I get 2.5. And they should win the game by 17, 20 points. I mean, where's Carolina going to score? Oh, Bryce Young, he's better? Really? Okay. Sure he is. He wasn't much at Alabama, and he sucked last year. He's not going to be better this year. You just don't turn it on in the NFL. You either are Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert or you're not. Look at Fields. He never turned it on. He's just not good. Even though he was great at Ohio State, it's the system. And Bryce Young was great at Alabama's system. He's not got Alabama's system unless they're putting in Alabama's system at Carolina. All right, everybody. Well, have a good day. Again, if you want to sign up for the class and we can go through all the games and picks, we can do that. And we can, whenever it's comfortable for people. Usually I figure Friday night. We can do a quick one on Wednesday for the Thursday game if we even play it, which I might not. I tend to be shy away from the Thursday games because I'm really not sure of what to do with them because of the short week and the travel and the teams are off kilter. I really have a hard time playing the Thursday. This week I played the KC because there was no game Sunday. But like next Thursday, I'm very leery because the team has to play Sunday. And it's like a car wreck, and then you're asking them to play Thursday, especially travel. So it's very difficult. I try to avoid those games. And it's ironic how the NFL fucks around with the kickoff, which I think is incredibly stupid. And they go and they say, well, we're worried about player safety. And then on the next breath, yeah, we're going to play Thursday games after the Sunday games. I thought you were worried about the players' safety. That's the biggest danger to them is your fucking Thursday game after your Sunday game. What are you thinking there? So they're a bunch of hypocrites. But anyway. So let's go watch some football. We can we'll review college tomorrow. Well, we'll review college and pro tomorrow. My take on what's going on, and we'll go from there. All right, so I got work to do. Well, the whole thing's stupid, Greg and John. What was wrong with the kickoff? College is still using it. Iowa almost ran it back for a touchdown to win the game yesterday, which they wouldn't have been able to do with this. It's incredibly stupid. And they're like socialists. We're doing it for your benefit, right? And it's the same thing here that they're trying to do things with for safety, like I say, and then they play Thursday. I heard American Airlines might be striking, so I got to be careful when I go to Europe. Who to fly? I'll maybe just go to Lufthansa. They won't strike. But it's ridiculous. There's a big recession here, and they're fucking around with going on strike. That's insane. So I don't know. Ronald Reagan fired all the air traffic controllers for striking, and Biden, he'll never do that. And this whole Kamala Harris thing with price control, I know we don't want to talk about it, but She's an idiot. It's shit like that. Oh, I'm going to get the prices down. That's all communism. We don't want communism. It doesn't work. We'll be like China. We'll be broke. We don't want to be broke. So go buy your gold and silver. Go buy this. Greg and John, go buy 100 of these. All right. They get the ball at the 30. Okay, whatever. I thought at certain places, this is a 20, 25, or 30 or something. Or if they kick it, then they return it. So I don't know. Anyway, have a good day, everybody. I appreciate it. Hope we make some money on Cincinnati today and go from there. And the game's what, even? So it's just what I think is, Cincinnati. I think it's 7.5. So we're laying 1 point. So hopefully that won't get killed. But New England's terrible. So part of the pet's Burrow and Chase, and part of it is New England's terrible. And the biggest part is the line's 7, 7.5, 8. It's such a low line. All right. Have a good day, everybody. I will see you tomorrow. You get my email. Go to the site. If you are planning on buying something, do not, for next week. One guy did that. He bought my week goes Tuesday to Monday. All right. Everything's in a week in football, not like baseball where it's daily. So if you want to buy my picks, wait till Tuesday to buy the picks, or Tuesday morning. Or if you just buy for the month or the year, you don't have to worry about it. But I will add games Tuesday morning or Monday night, as soon as I can post it on the next week. Or if you buy from me, I will post it. I'm playing this, Ohio State over on Sunday night or Monday for next week. So you'll see it, and then you can adjust to it. But I do make over-unders a lot on Mondays. But really, you need to buy Tuesday to get the picks. Again, it goes Tuesday to Monday, and that's where we're at. All right, okay, everybody. Have a good day. Good luck, and I will talk to you tomorrow. All right, www.teaserking.com. All right, take care, everybody. Have a good day. Good luck. Relax.